cannon, boy. That's what we want. Fully spread out along the paper. This is 25 yards. Great all throughout his head and neck. All right, guys, so we've been out today, had a great day of scouting. Me and Alan touched on a couple new properties that we just got access to, and we wanted to get boots on the ground today. Had a great day of scouting, heard a bunch of turkeys, and now we're over here at the farm, and we're gonna talk about some guns here that we got. These are our different setups, a few of them, and we're just gonna touch on the differences on them real quick, and we're going to actually weigh these guns with a scale and tell you, the weight differential between a 12, a 20, and a 410. And Alan's got, what is that, Alan, a 20 and a 410?
They're both 410s.
Both 410s. He's got a TriStar 410 and then
an old Stevens Model 94 410.
An old Stevens 410, and I've got a new Stevens 410. So we're going to weigh all these different guns, tell you, the differences, kind of run through our setups really quick, and then we've got some different ammo. We've got Apex, some Rogue, we've got some hand loads, some Brownings. So we're going to do some comparisons, and we're going to shoot all these guns at 25 yards and then show the comparisons between a 12, a 20, and a 410. That's the main goal of this video, is just to show the comparisons between the models of guns. So I'm going to just run through my setups really quick. This is a 410. This is a Stevens 301. I got a Sumtoy choke in it. I got a Mueller red dot sight in it. It's a single shot 410. It's a super popular gun right now. It's extremely lightweight. So that's my 410 setup. My 12 gauge setup is my old trusty Mossberg 835. Had this gun since I was 15. It's killed, I don't even know how many turkeys. I run a Primos Jellyhead choke in it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It just got fiber optics sights on it that came on the gun when I bought it. And I've got a wrap on it, just a Mossy Oak Graphics wrap on it. So that's the 12 gauge setup. And then my new 20 gauge setup is a Franchi Affinity 3. It's got a Sumtoy choke in it as well. And I've got a Sumtoy mount with a Burris Fastfire 3 sight on it. This comes with rifle sights on it that you could run that are really super nice, actually. But I wanted to run the Burris because I ran it last year on my 20 and I really liked it. This is a semi-automatic gun. So yeah, it's really light. We're going to weigh it here in a second, and we're going to talk about the weight differential in these guns. This one also has a pistol grip on it, which is a little bit something different that I'm running this year. So that's my setups. And I'll let Alan talk about his real quick.
This is an old Stevens Model 94 that my grandpa gave to me when I was like 2. I had some work done to it. This is a comp and choke tube in it, and I have a True Glow scope on it. And this one here is the old trusty TriStar. It's a G2. It's a 410. It's an automatic with a Indian Creek choke in it.
And you got what's the sight on it?
This is a Burris Fastfire 3 sight and some toy base also.
And then it's got a pistol grip as well.
Yeah, pistol grip.
So, okay, so we're gonna weigh these guns real quick. I've just got a Rapala fish scale, if it'll come on here. This is what I weigh turkeys with usually. So we're going to put all these guns on here real quick and weigh them just to tell you weight differential of these guns. So if you want to do yours first there. So this is the TriStar 5.93, so right under 6 pounds. That's a TriStar 410, right under 6 pounds. Good. To redo that one. Let's go through that loop right there. That'd be perfect. Okay. 7 pounds. So 7 on the old Stevens. We'll do the Franchi now, and I'll do it through the trigger because I don't have a help me here to get that through there. I don't have a sling on it yet. 6.6, so it's just over 6.5 pounds on the Franchi 20.
Be a big difference in these two.
Yeah, be a big difference. That's the first 12 gauge we've weighed, so we'll weigh the 12 gauge now. Mossberg 835. 7.6. Not a huge difference, but I mean, it makes a difference going up and down mountains for sure. Take this right here through that sling hole. There you go. And the Stevens 301 is 5.2. So it's the lightest of all of them that we weighed just now. So 5.2, which that gun on your back doesn't feel like you have a gun on your back at all. So that's why I like hunting with it. A lot of people are getting into the 410 craze, and you know, we're going to shoot it here in a minute and you'll see exactly why. I mean, why wouldn't you want to carry a gun that's 5 pounds that shoots a pattern out to 40 yards just as good as most 12 gauges do? So we'll show you that. So we're going to move on now and get stuff situated to shoot. I'll probably run through my 20 gauge and how I'm going to zero in that dot and how I like to do it first before we start doing the whole patterning segment. But that's what we're going to go to now. I'm just going to walk through real quick how I like to zero in a new gun if you got a red dot on it or whatever. Some people will shoot a target, or you know, shoot a turkey load or whatever through it. What I do typically is I'll make a big dot on a box. Now I would do this with a Sharpie, but I forgot a Sharpie, so I'm just doing it with a pen. So I'm going to make a big dot on this box where I can see it pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this box and I'm going to set it out here, and then I'm going to come back here and I'm going to shoot I'm just going to shoot a dove load through it. You know, no kick at all. These are super cheap. I'm going to shoot a dove load at like 10 yards at this dot and see where my pattern hits. And you know, but it'll be a wad, pretty much a wad hole. And then I'm going to just come back and I'm going to move my red dot up or wherever to get it closer to this, and then I'm going to make another dot and I'm going to do it until I get my red dot on. Then I'm going to move back to 20 and shoot, you know, just a cheap turkey load through it usually, and then I'll shoot a TSS load through it usually. So that's the kind of the process that I go through. So I'm going to take this box out here and get it situated, and then we will shoot this and we'll kind of go through the step-by-step thing. Pretty close. I mean, it's a little bit low. Move it up just a hair. So I'm just going to sit here with my tool, and it's pretty much right on, left to right. I'm just going to move it up. I'm going to put it on my knee, and I'm going to move this thing up. I'm going to put it where the wad hit, and I'm going to move it up to the dot. Okay, so I've got it moved up to the dot now, so I'm going to load it again. And we're going to fire it again and see if we're closer to the dot now. So here we go. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so we got the target, or the sight set in at 10 yards. So we backed off to 25 now, and we're going to shoot. This is a Rogue TSS load. Just got these. I haven't even shot them yet. So we're going to see what it can do at 25, and then we're going to shoot an Apex load, and then we're going to shoot one of my buddy Jay Cox's custom loads that he made me, and we're going to just kind of compare those all at 25 yards just to see what they'll do. So yeah, here we go. We're going to do the Rogue first. Yeah, that'll work. Or I'll move it a little bit. But I mean, the wad went through at 25. So we're going to move it because I was aiming down in here. So my pattern's kicking high, which a TSS load shoots hotter than a dove load. And so you're going to get a little bit of that. So I'm going to move it down a little bit, and then I'm going to you know, move it over just a little bit. But I mean, you can see that's a good pattern at 25. All right, so real quick before I shoot this second round, I want to touch on, I shoot out of a gobbler lounger chair. Some people like to put it on a rail or whatever, or a bipod. I like to shoot when I'm shooting like I hunt. So this puts me in a natural position as if my back was against a tree, my knees right up like I would be sitting on a bird. So that's why I like to shoot like this. It gives me a good solid rest. I'm solid on that target, and it gives me a natural feel. So this is a TSS Apex Ninja load, 25 yards. We're gonna shoot it now. Yeah, that's what we want. Looked to be better when it hit it. I might move it just a hair to the left still. As you can see, there's my pattern. Pretty even, but bulk of it's right here at 25, which is pretty tight. I was holding right here, so I'm gonna move it a little bit left, but not very much. And yeah, it should be good now. So we'll put a new target on here and shoot one of Jay's loads at 25 after I make that little adjustment, and we'll call that good. All right, so we made our last adjustment, we think. Ninjas did really well at 25. That's what I typically hunt with. The Rogues looked like they were throwing a good pattern. I wouldn't have any problem hunting with them. Now that I've got everything situated and tweaked the way I want it, and it should be good, I'm going to shoot my buddy Jay's hand loads. This is what I want to hunt with this spring. So I'm going to see how they perform out of my gun, obviously, but I know how they perform out of his Franke, and they do really well. So now that I've got everything situated, I think I'm going to shoot one of his loads and see how it does at 25. If we're satisfied with it, then we'll move it to 40 just to see what the gun will do at 40 with these loads, and then we'll be good and we'll move on to another gun. Most of my patterns right there, which I was holding right here. So yeah, nice even pattern. Probably move it up a little bit, just because. But yeah, that's pretty good. It's throwing a really nice pattern. So yeah, that's what I wanted to see. And look at that pattern. That's the pattern you want to see. Right there's the shell. It's an Apex Ninja. That's the pattern you want. Fully spread out along the paper. This is 25 yards. Great all throughout his head and neck. Exactly what you want. I made one last tweak after I shot that last Browning shell, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't screw my sight all up. So I had one last Ninja, so I shot it off camera real quick, and right there it is. That's exactly what you want to see out of a 410. Perfect pattern. Nicely spread.
Okay, we got the TriStar here today with the Burst Fast Fire 3 and a Indian Creek choke. I'm shooting a Browning TSS right now at 25 yards.
About took his head off.
So I said that it shoots tight in that gun right there.
Yeah, it does. Look at that. There you go.
Pattern's right there.
Yep. Right where you want it to be. Aiming at the wattles. Yep. Nice tight pattern. 25 with a 410. You can't ask for a whole lot better than that.
Alright, now we're going to try out the Ninjas and the TriStar 410.
It's pretty good too. Probably a lot more even pattern, not as tight.
Yep.
Nice even pattern. Hitting him mainly in the wattles like the Browning did, but not as tight. A little bit more spread out, gives you a little bit more room for air. He's got BBs up in here around his eyes. Bulk of it's right here, coming up into here. So that's good. That's what you want. Both loads performed really well.
Right now we're shooting the old Stevens Model 94 that my grandpa gave to me back in the day. Had some work done to the barrel. Browning, TSS.
Very nice. Very nice.
We'll try another target.
Very nice. There it is. Super even pattern. That gun threw a really nice pattern. The Browning shell, nice even spread all the way up his head. But I mean, it's all right there. But it's nice and spread. Hand across his head. It's nice. That's what you want. 25 yards, just like all the other guns. We'll put another one on there and rock and roll. Another gun. Alright, so last one we're going to shoot is the old trusty Mossberg 835. This is the only gun I ever killed a turkey with my whole turkey career until last spring when I switched to a 20 gauge. So every turkey I ever killed was with this gun. Special gun to me. I'll never get rid of it. It's been really good. Killed a lot of turkeys with it. So I'm going to shoot it just as a comparison to compare to these 410s and these 20s that we shot today, and we'll show you the pattern and talk about it. So this is with a Longbeard XR number 5 shot. Like a cannon, boy. Thing about flew out of my hand when I shot it.
I saw
Did you see it? Rocked me pretty good. That's with a 3-inch shell. Never shot 3.5 inch out of it just because it is like a cannon. So there's the pattern. I mean, that's probably me jerking more than anything. Just throwing to the left. Because I just shoot beads. So, but I mean, he's dead. So, that's pretty much it. Alright, well, we're going to kind of close this video out real quick. I think you guys kind of saw the results that we had. Overall, pretty good performance from a lot of different loads. Out of my 20, which my Frankie took me a little bit to get dialed in. We had to do several different adjustments with that red dot, but that's just par for the course. That's what you have to usually do. So sighted it in with dove loads. Then I shot a rogue. Well, I shot 2 rogues. I never got my sight dialed in, so we didn't get to see it on a turkey head, but the pattern was really good. It was throwing a nice even pattern. I shot the Apex loads through there, and then I shot Jay's hand loads through there, which is what I'm going to hunt with. I was really happy with how it performed at 25 and 40. And then I shot my 410, which Apex definitely shot the best through my 410. Far outperformed the Brownings, and then shot the Winchester Longbeard XRs out of my 12 gauge. Me personally, I don't think TSS is really necessary in a 12 gauge. That's just my personal preference. You can think what you want, but I don't want to spend the money for TSS out of a 12 gauge. I've hunted with Longbeard XRs for a long time out of them, and they've performed really well. My pattern today wasn't great because I flinched a little bit, I think, pulled to the left a little bit, but I'd shot 20 shots by that time, and I was just really tired of shooting, to be honest. But Alan's guns performed really well with both loads, really.
Yep. Turkey's probably 25, 30, 40 yards with them, probably.
Yeah, all the way out to 40. I'd say you could easily kill one with the 410s with the loads that are available today. We only shot Browning and Apex today.
Yep.
Out of both of our 410s, just to do a comparison of those two loads. There's several other really nice loads out on the market to get for those guns, but we just wanted to compare those two because he had some experience with Browning out of his gun and told me that it did really well. I've hunted with Apex out of my 410. He has too.
Yep.
And we've killed birds with that. So I think, as you saw on paper today, they performed really well. So I mean, at the end of the day, like we talked about through this video, you just got to find the right combination for you, the right combination that your gun likes. If you know what your choke likes, because some guns might like the Browning better, or the Federal, or the Apex, or whatever you get. Typically, a hand-loaded shell is going to do better than a mass-produced shell, but
it's going to be more consistent. Probably.
Yeah, probably more consistent. But you just got to find what's right for you, and so hopefully you might have seen something in this video that might help you patterning in the future, or might help you pick which load you want to try. So yeah, we're going to leave it at that. Pretty happy with how they performed today. We're 3 weeks away from season here in West Virginia. I'll be hunting in a week and a half in Alabama, so wanted to get my gun all ready to rock and roll. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and it helped you a little bit, and you can get out there and get your guns set up if you're not hunting already. So have a good day, and we'll see you guys soon. God bless you.